What if the hardest cycle to break isn't the one you inherited, but the one you've become comfortable living in? Think about it for a moment. Welcome to Breaking Cycles with Tamara. My name is Tamara Himmel. I am an author, speaker, talent acquisition advisor, and founder of Breaking Cycles Youth Initiative. For years, I've shared pieces of my story through my books, on stage, and in conversation with others. But I've realized there are so many stories, lessons, experiences that don't fit into a book chapter or a keynote speech. So what I decided to do is create a space, this space, Breaking Cycles with Tamara, is a place where we'll have to be honest and have honest conversations about healing, resilience, personal growth, career journey, and what it really means to break cycles that no longer serve us. And I can't think of a better place to begin than with the moment I decide to break those cycles, breaking the cycles of what it took for me, things that were keeping me in bondage, captivity, and mental slavery. And so I want you to take that journey with me. Now, that moment didn't happen overnight. Let's be clear about that. It takes work, it takes time. It just took me to a place of when it really hit and happened. It was years of surviving patterns I didn't fully understand. I realized in that moment I had spent most of my life living for everyone except myself. I was living for the world, as performing. And we're in a society and world today where there's a lot of people performing for others than themselves. Very performative. And so I had to learn how to survive, because as through life and as I was growing up for me, I learned to survive. And as I got older, I realized I was living according to everyone else's expectation for my life than mine, because of the things that were projected, embedded, and told to me. I thought they were correct. And I was making decisions based on approval, acceptance. I wanted so badly to be accepted or feel belong. I wasn't at a place where I felt that I truly could identify with who I was created to be, that I was enough. And so I was waiting for someone or expecting others to validate me, to approve me. I didn't know that I was enough. I didn't know how to show up for me. And one day I realized I didn't really know who Tamara was outside of what everyone else needed me to be. Truly didn't. Especially for someone coming from a third world country where we're taught that you have to go to school and you have to have the degree, and education is your way out. No, it takes more than education to be your way out. But that's what I was told. That's what were embedded, ingrained in me. And so I went with the flow. And in those moments of realizing that I was more than that, that's when I knew something in me had to change. Because now I have fruits, which were my children, that were attached to what I would deliver and feed to them. And so in realizing that moment and realizing something had to change, those realizations became the beginning of breaking cycles for me. And in breaking cycles, I had to learn how to find my true purpose, self-identify who I was as a person, and really condition my mind, positioning my mind differently based on how I think and how I should show up now for me. And that's not an easy process. It is definitely work, consistency. I live by 3 Ds in my life: discipline, drive, and determination. I have to have the drive to want change for myself. And in having that drive, I was determined, very, very determined, in how I was going to start showing up for me. But I also have to have the discipline, because with anything that is worth working hard for, it comes with discipline. And in discipline, I understand that it was very, very important to now be consistent. Because Rome wasn't built in one day. You can start something this week, and because you're not seeing the fruit from it the next week, then you feel like it should be time to give up. You have to stay at pace, and you have to be disciplined with consistency for those results to come to fruition. And so that's what I did for myself. I retrained my thought process and looked at deep dive, looking into things that I was not aligned to purposefully, that were not bringing reward to my life or success to my life, to my well-being. I had to look at what my mental space and my mental health contribute to, and what was that looking like for me. And so with understanding the breaking cycles of all of those different things over the next, several years, as I was going through my journey of healing, I want you to really ponder and realize that Breaking cycles is a journey. It is asking yourself if who you are created to be, your true purpose, your identity, are you really fulfilling that the way you should? We have different testimonies in life. Every one of us journey is different. Every one of us path is different. Every one of us testimony is going to look differently. However, as I move through this journey and hoping that you will stay with me through this journey, I want you to start taking that initiative to really deep dive in searching who is your true identity, or finding your true identity. What does that really, really look like for you? And how are you showing up for yourself? Reminder, it's not an easy process. It's going to take work. It's going to take time. But I know that it can be done. After realizing that finding who you truly are is all about breaking cycles. So in that, there are lessons, 3 lessons that I want you to really reflect on and take away with you. And the first one is going to be understanding that awareness comes first. You have to self-identify what that looks like for you, not for anyone else, not for the outside noise, but for you. You first have to recognize. So recognize awareness comes first. I couldn't change what I refuse to acknowledge. Couldn't change it. Okay? So that's the first identifier. The second lesson I want you to really pay attention to is understanding that healing requires honesty. You have to be honest with yourself, please. And that's not an easy process. I had to stop blaming everyone else and take responsibility and accountability for my own healing. I had to. I could not continue to point fingers. Because when we keep doing this and not doing this back, you're truly not healing. You're finding an excuse. And so we have to stop finding excuses of why we're not progressing, why we're not evolving, why we're not elevating in life. Because no one is chasing us. And for a very, very long time, I will be honest with you, I was running away. Didn't realize I was only running away from me. No one was chasing me. I was running away from me. And that's hard. That's hard to recognize. That's hard to acknowledge. But at some point, my feet got tired. It really got tired. And so I had to stop. Breaking cycles, the third, requires courage. Breaking cycles require courage. You have to have the courage to do it. The familiar may be painful, but it's still familiar. Change requires courage. So over the next several weeks, we'll talk about healing versus surviving, what resilience really, really look like, the lessons I have learned through 2 brain surgeries, not one, but 2 brain surgeries, forgiveness, career growth, even writing books, because every one of us has a story to tell. And I'm not afraid to give you those guides and help you on what that could look like for you. Speaking and much more. Much, much more. So I want to thank you for spending this time with me today. If anything I've shared resonated with you, I invite you to subscribe, follow along, and join me on this journey, because together we'll continue breaking cycles, creating a space for healing, purpose, and transformation. And that's what I want to do. I'm passionate about it. I wrote 2, just released my 3rd book, working on my 4th, and I want to do more. I want to bring back that sense of community that we have lost. We have to be able to sincerely show up for each other. And I want to build a platform that does that. Because I have a village. I have an amazing village that helped me to get to where I am today. And I want to turn that back over to helping those that want to take this ride and journey of showing up for themselves in a different way than what they're living in today. And so let's bring back that sense of community. Let's understand how we need to show up for ourselves. Let's stop performing for the world and start performing for us. It's time to break the cycles. You can find my books on my platform, Backbone and Breaking Cycles, along with speaking and workshop information on my website at tamarahamel.com. Again, tamarahamel.com. I tend to update my website as often as possible. I am doing some updating to it as we speak. And so let's go on this mission of changing what the world is having us do. And when I say the world, I'm talking about people around us, our supposed to be inner circles, the noise that is in our heads, in our ears. Let's start removing all of those negative notions that are keeping us in captivity, in bondage, and let's understand how we should be fully emancipated and liberated. And so I hope, again, that if any of this resonate with you, you will take this ride with me authentically, honestly, in all honesty, real, and showing up for you. I thank you for listening, and I appreciate you. I will be going live, releasing, recording every Tuesday weekly. So you will hear me weekly. You will be able to follow me on all platforms. I am on TikTok. I am on Instagram. I am on Facebook, YouTube. And so don't be afraid to tap in, send me a message, Let's correspond, but I look forward to sharing more with you. Thank you. Have a wonderful day.